What is up everyone? Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be breaking down my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K build. This is a video request that I've gotten a lot of, especially on Instagram. People are curious about all the different pieces and elements that I put in this camera build. So there's a ton of different ways you can build your camera. This is just the way I built mine, and I want to show you guys all the different components and how it fits into my workflow. So let's get right into it. So first, it starts with the camera with the full cage by TILTA. I've also taken off all the port covers on the camera just so that once it's all rigged out, it's much easier to plug in the cables with the covers off. My lens of choice is the Sigma 18-35 1.8. I've also added a focus gear ring by Coolux onto the Sigma lens. The rod system really starts with the TILTA base plate. The rods I use are by SMALLRIG. They're 12-inch and aluminum, and they go straight into the TILTA base plate. I've also added a MANFROTTO 501 quick release plate at the bottom of the TILTA base plate, which I will show you guys why later. Next, I add on the TILTA top handle, and I want to mention that TILTA does sell all these components as a kit. I highly recommend getting the kit just because it comes with all the little cables and screws that you'll need as you're building out your camera cage. For battery solutions, I use this INDIPRO V-mount plate. I love this plate because it has the BMPCC kind of cable built into the plate itself. You can actually adjust the angle of the plate, and so once it's on the rod, you can still move it around in order to access the touchscreen on your Blackmagic. Next, I have the focusing side handle by TILTA as well. I really love this piece of the cage because it allows for a bigger battery, which specifically is the NP F970 battery. It also has this really sleek, pretty much hidden slot for a T5 SSD. It also has a focus wheel built into the side handle, which allows me to control focus wirelessly. Now this little piece right here is also made by TILTA, but it's a little mount for the NANO focus wheel. So this allows me to mount the wheel straight onto the rods. Now this is the focus wheel that comes with the NUCLEUS NANO, also by TILTA. Personally, I really like how just this looks. I love like little wooden accents on camera builds, so I really dig this little piece right here. Now this is the NUCLEUS NANO focus motor itself. This goes onto the 15mm rail, and then it also latches onto the lens. This is what will allow you to focus wirelessly using one of the focus wheels. This is a little piece by SMALLRIG that I use to mount my monitor onto the top handle. I like this little piece by SMALLRIG just because it allows you to swivel left and right and also up and down. The monitor I use is the SMALLHD Focus. I also had to make an adjustment on the sun hood for the monitor. I cut out this piece, and that's the only way I was able to fit with that SMALLRIG piece that I showed earlier. I like having the monitor mounted at the front of the top handle because I noticed when I put it on the very top of the top handle, it was a little too high for my liking. The matte box that I use is by Polar Pro. This is their Basecamp ultra lightweight matte box. I've done a video on this before, but it's really high quality. You can change the glass elements really quickly, and I pretty much use this as like a variable ND on my build. It comes with this 82mm adapter, but because the Sigma lens isn't 82mm, I had to add a step-up ring inside of the adapter, which wasn't too big of a deal. For audio, I use this RYCOTE shock mount that I picked up on Amazon. I like this mount because unlike other mounts, it allows you to kind of move it around and mount the mic off to the side, which gives you more clearance so that you're not hitting any other parts of your build. For the battery that goes into the side handle, I use these Power Extra NP F970 batteries that I got on Amazon. Pretty cheap, I think they're like $35 for 2 or something like that. This Anton Bauer battery is the one that came with my SMALLHD monitor. It kind of broke in half, so I used gaff tape to close it up. But it still works, so that's good. Now for storage, I record straight onto this Samsung T5 SSD, and I slide that bad boy right in that side handle that I mentioned earlier. For the V-mount battery, I use this Comer DNO lighting. It's just a V-mount off of Amazon. It was pretty cheap, gets the job done. It has power levels on it. It also has a D-tap port to power any other accessories on your build. So that pretty much wraps up the whole build and all the components of it. But I want to share with you guys how I actually use this build in terms of, stabilization. So because the camera, once it's all fully rigged out, it's pretty heavy, and so you won't be able to use it, too long with just your arms unless you want to muscle it out and you have huge biceps. But for me, it just gets really tiring. So this easy rig allows me to redistribute the weight, and so the camera is pretty much being held up by this cable suspension. And all I have to do really is just guide the camera where I want it to go, and this allows me to shoot for multiple hours if I need to, even with this heavy setup. Now because I added a 501 MANFROTTO plate, I'm able to mount it straight onto my tripod fairly quickly to get those locked off shots when I'm on set. I want to show you guys in real time how quickly I'm actually able to go from the easy rig to a tripod back to the easy rig. I actually have a shoulder rig as well for the camera. I watched a video by Brian Durkee, I believe, on this shoulder rig build. Really awesome video. I don't use this as much as I'd like to, but it's really easy. I just pretty much take off the monitor, put it onto the shoulder rig, and I also take off the follow focus wheel and put it onto the shoulder rig as well. Now last but not least, I just want to mention when it comes to focusing, the motor has multiple channels, and so I've set up each focus wheel on a different channel, so 1 and 2. So when I need to use the side handle focus module, I can change the channel and then use the focus wheel on the right side of the camera as well. So that wraps up my BMPCC 6K build and sort of how it fits into my workflow. All the products that I have mentioned will be linked down below in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.